Well, school is right around the corner, and kids in Waco are squeezing those last moments of summer before it's time to hit the classroom. The Waco Police Department helped with that today. 6 News reporter Matt Lively was there. Well, it was a bright, sunny, but hot Friday evening. Let's get a check of our forecast. Our meteorologist, Jordan Dansberg, is joining us with the first look. How's it going, Jordan?
It's going, Jasmine.
All right, Jordan. Well, the U.S. economy added 943,000 jobs last month. While President Biden is touting the numbers as evidence of a rebound, the recent rise of COVID infections and hospitalizations doesn't look good for this month. Alice Barr breaks it all down from Washington.
The course of the summer in 2021. We got to have it at least 1 or 2 times.
Why would you want it to be that hot?
I don't know. It's just me.
Nope, not me. Nope, okay, I'll be inside.
I guess not.
I have a few days off.
You can just chill in your little air conditioning while I chill by the pool, have a nice little drink, and enjoy the hundreds.
Oh, invite me over.
Okay.
And we introduced you to the Longhorn Diggers of Central Texas a couple of weeks ago. It's a club of metal detectorists who are dedicated to growing the hobby. They also help with recovery. And a Central Texas man was recently on the benefiting end. 6 News reporter Bailey Bates joins me live now to explain. Hey, Bailey.
And now we're going to go ahead and toss it to Jasmin Caldwell, who is talking about the Army CID investigation portion of this case. Well, yeah, Maria, thank you. We wanted to look a little deeper into this investigation about what Army officials are doing to bring Vanessa Guillen home. So I reached out to the Army Criminal Investigation Division, which is the lead on this case.
And you just heard from a press conference, about a 30-minute press conference from Fort Hood officials about the death of Sergeant Elder Fernandez, who had been missing for about a week, but we did learn that his body was found hanging from a tree in Temple last night. Fort Hood say they expressed their sympathy to his family, and they did give us more information about his sexual assault claims. They said that Elder Fernandez was allegedly grabbed on the buttocks by another soldier on post, but after doing an investigation, they found that those claims may not have been true.
Yeah, Leslie, Congress officials are convinced that there's something in the water here at Fort Hood. Now, behind me is a sign that says the Great Place, but they say at this time they feel that Fort Hood cannot be called the Great Place right now. Well, Cedric Mark's family said this is a pretty quiet town, so they were in complete shock when they found out that 2 bodies were buried in a grave on this property.
So it's been a year since Cedric led police on that manhunt and was charged with killing his ex-girlfriend Jenna and her friend Michael. What's new, Jasmine? Where does this case stand right now?
Well, right now, Cedric Marks is still sitting in a Bell County jail on a $2 million bond awaiting trial. Now, because of COVID-19, some of those hearings have been delayed and slowed down. And because of the district attorney seeking the death penalty, those cases typically take a little longer here in the state of Texas. But I can tell you this. What's new is we learned that Cedric Marks' wife has agreed to testify against him after Cedric Marks allegedly killed Jenna Scott and Michael Swearingen. Now, after he allegedly killed them, he fled to Michigan, where his wife hid him and his new girlfriend from authorities. So it's going to be interesting to hear what she has to say.
After months of searching, rallying, and calling for justice, today it was time to say goodbye to Vanessa Guillen.
And even though she has tragically died young, her legacy will be long-lasting.
Her casket arrived at Holy Name Catholic Church in Houston this morning. The priest sprinkled her coffin with holy water as a pledge of eternal life. City and state leaders were in attendance, and veterans from across Texas stood outside to salute the slain Fort Hood soldier.
And in fact, many people around the world are watching today because this was a very tragic event. And when you think of what this family's been going through, she went missing April 22nd. Today is August 15th. That's many, many months. So today is a chance to pray for her, pray with the family, give our respects, and give them the distance that they need to grieve together as a family.
Houston Police Chief Art Acevedo also came to pay his respects. He says the Guillen family had so much distrust in Fort Hood that they asked Houston Police to independently identify Vanessa Guillen's remains.
You know, as a mother, I think you always hold on to a little bit of hope, but there was great relief knowing that an independent lab had confirmed that it was Vanessa's remains. So,
unlike Friday's public memorial, today's funeral was private for family and close friends. Vanessa Guillen's final resting place is at Dignity Memorial Cemetery in Houston. Reporting in Houston, Jasmin Caldwell, 6 News.
Yeah, well, Chris and Leslie, I was in the room tonight when Billy Wayne Coble's son began to have an outburst. Now, as soon as his father closed his eyes, that's when he started to bang on the glass. Us reporters were pushed. Some of us were kicked as the guards had to drag him out of the room. Just as Billy Wayne Coble whispered the words "take care" to his family, his son Gordon lost control once his father closed his eyes for the last time.
The son, Gordon Coble, kind of approached the glass, put his hands on the bars of the glass, and then eventually ended up hitting the glass with 2 arms and was taken from behind, removed from the room by the 2 Office of Inspector General officers who were also in the room.
Coble spent the last 30 years of his life on death row in Huntsville for the slayings of the parents of his estranged wife and her brother, Waco Police Sergeant Bobby Vicka. The former electrician was strapped to a gurney as the lethal solution began flowing in both arms. At 6:24, Coble was pronounced dead as the Vicka family watched from the other side of the two-way glass.
While we grieve the amazing lives that were lost too soon, we find joy in the blessings and love we have in our family. It is well with our soul.
As Coble's face began to turn blue, his remaining friends who were in the witness room began to pray. Waco police were there in honor of their fallen officer.
Sergeant Vicka was an excellent officer and was well liked by all. And to this day, his memory lives with those of us who served with him.
Billy Wayne Coble's body will leave the prison and head to a funeral home until his son is able to bail out of jail and sign for the body. Now, I can tell you this whole ordeal was pretty frightening. Just to kind of give you guys an idea, this room was just like a 6 by 12 foot room. And as I said before, Gordon went out kicking and screaming, yelling to the guards that they were hurting him. The Texas Department of Criminal Justice said something like this has never happened before. Reporting live in Huntsville, Jasmin Caldwell, Channel 6 News. Well, Cedric Marks' family said this is a pretty quiet town, so they were in complete shock when they found out that 2 bodies were buried in a grave on this property. Shirley Nero is the local historian here in Clearview. She said the nearly all-black town is historic in the state of Oklahoma. But lately, she says all anyone can talk about is the bodies that were found in the backyard. But what shocked Nero even more is that her cousin, Cedric Marks, had a connection with Jenna Scott.
We know him. We've seen him. He's attended our family reunions and everything. We know his dad grew up here in Clearview. So we know him. We were shocked. We were just really shocked that could happen here in Clearview.
The property where Scott and Swearingen were found belongs to a man named Walter Shannon, who told us he knew nothing about what happened. Nero says Shannon is not a member of their family, and usually everyone knows just about everything that goes on here. She's hoping the thing they didn't know won't overshadow the historic value that Clearview has to offer. So far, Temple police have not named any suspects in this case. Reporting in Clearview, Oklahoma, Jasmin Caldwell, Channel 6 News.